Are you aware of the effects of sleep deprivation on teenagers? Or perhaps you're a teen yourself, struggling to get enough shut-eye each night. Welcome, dear listeners, to a discussion on a topic that's more prevalent than you might think. Sleep deprivation in teenagers. It's a silent epidemic that's sweeping across our modern world, largely unnoticed. The culprits? A myriad of factors, but most notably, academic and social pressures. As the world becomes more competitive, teenagers are finding themselves caught in a whirlwind of assignments, exams, extracurricular activities, social media, and peer pressure, all of which are eating away at their precious sleep time. The result? A generation of sleep-deprived young individuals who are unaware of the toll it takes on their health and well-being. There's a dire need for awareness about this issue, and that's exactly what we're going to focus on. So, stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of sleep-deprived teenagers. Sleep deprivation among teenagers isn't a rarity. It's a widespread issue, and we've got the numbers to prove it. Pause for a moment to let that sink in. This isn't just a handful of sleepy students struggling to stay awake in first period. This is a problem that's reaching epidemic proportions. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends that teenagers should be getting between 8 and 10 hours of sleep each night to function at their best. But the reality, around 70% of high school students are getting less than 8 hours of sleep on school nights. That's right, 7 out of every 10 teenagers are starting their day already behind the 8 ball. And it's not just an issue in America. This is a global problem. A study from the University of Adelaide in Australia found that a staggering 90% of high school students are chronically sleep deprived. 9 out of every 10 students walking into school are doing so on less sleep than they need. This isn't a new problem either. It's been steadily getting worse. In fact, over the past 20 years, the percentage of teenagers getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night has increased by an alarming 10%. What's even more concerning is that this sleep deprivation doesn't just disappear on the weekends. Many teenagers are so sleep deprived during the week that they end up sleeping in on weekends to try and catch up. But this erratic sleep pattern can actually exacerbate the problem, leading to what's known as social jet lag. This isn't just about feeling a bit groggy in the morning. Chronic sleep deprivation in teenagers has been linked to a host of physical and mental health issues, from obesity and heart disease to depression and anxiety. It's also been shown to negatively impact academic performance. As you can see, this isn't a small issue. It's a major concern affecting millions of teenagers worldwide. Sleep deprivation doesn't just make you feel tired, it has a significant impact on the overall health and well-being of teenagers. Picture this. You're a teenager, and you've been burning the midnight oil, studying for exams, or chatting with friends. You might think it's harmless, just part of growing up, right? But the truth is, sleep deprivation can have serious consequences on both your physical and mental health. Let's start with the physical effects. When your body doesn't get the rest it needs, your immune system weakens, leaving you more susceptible to illnesses. If you've ever noticed that you're prone to catching colds after pulling an all-nighter, this is why. Lack of sleep can also affect growth and development in teenagers. During sleep, the body releases growth hormones, and without adequate sleep, this process can be disrupted. Plus, sleep deprivation can lead to weight gain and even the onset of type 2 diabetes, due to changes in the way our bodies process glucose. Now let's shift gears and talk about the mental effects. Studies have shown that sleep deprivation can contribute to increased anxiety and depression in teenagers. It's like a snowball effect. The less sleep you get, the more stressed and anxious you feel, which in turn makes it harder to fall asleep. It's a vicious cycle. Additionally, lack of sleep can lead to reduced cognitive function. This means you might struggle with memory, concentration, and decision-making. Not exactly what you want when you're trying to ace that big test, right? Furthermore, sleep deprivation can affect mood and behavior. Ever felt cranky after a night of little sleep? That's because sleep affects our neurotransmitters, the brain chemicals that regulate mood. Chronic sleep deprivation can lead to mood swings, irritability, and even aggressive behavior. The effects of sleep deprivation can be severe, making it a matter that requires immediate attention. So next time you're tempted to pull an all-nighter, remember, your body and mind need rest to function optimally. The life of a teenager isn't as carefree as it may seem. Academic and social pressures play a significant role in sleep deprivation. Delving into the world of academia, we find a pressure cooker environment. Homework, tests, projects. These are not just tasks, but heavy weights that teens carry on their shoulders every day. The stress of maintaining good grades, meeting strict deadlines, and preparing for college applications can easily eat into their sleep time. The fear of underperforming or not living up to expectations can cause anxiety, which further hinders a peaceful night's sleep. In this competitive era, the phrase, "burning the midnight oil," has unfortunately become an all-too-common reality for many teens. And then there's the social side of things. Peer pressure, for instance, is a powerful force. The need to fit in, to be cool, can lead to late-night gatherings or parties, often compromising sleep. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, as it's popularly known, can keep teens awake well past their bedtime. Social media, another titan of the teen universe, also plays its part. It's a world that never sleeps, constantly buzzing with updates, messages, likes, and shares. The irresistible urge to stay connected can result in teens spending countless hours scrolling through their feeds, oblivious to the ticking clock. Let's not forget extracurricular activities. Sports, clubs, volunteer work. While these activities are enriching and often a necessary part of a well-rounded education, they can also add to a teen's already jam-packed schedule, leaving little room for adequate sleep. In essence, it's a balancing act. The pressure to excel academically, the desire to be socially accepted, the need to stay connected, and the drive to participate in extracurricular activities, all these factors can push sleep to the back burner. Both academic and social pressures contribute to the sleep deprivation crisis among teenagers. It's a complex issue that requires understanding, empathy, and most importantly, actionable solutions. While the situation may seem dire, there are ways to combat teen sleep deprivation. First and foremost, establishing a consistent sleep schedule is key. Our bodies have internal clocks known as circadian rhythms that regulate when we feel sleepy and when we feel alert. By going to bed and waking up at the same times each day, teens can help their bodies align with these natural rhythms. Even on weekends, try to stick to the same sleep schedule. This consistency can lead to more restful, high-quality sleep. Next, let's talk about screens. Many of us, not just teenagers, are guilty of scrolling through our phones or watching TV right before bed. However, screens emit a blue light that can interfere with the production of melatonin, the hormone that makes us feel sleepy. To combat this, try to reduce screen time at least 1 hour before bed. Alternatively, consider using apps or settings that filter out blue light. Exercise is another powerful tool in the fight against sleep deprivation. Regular physical activity can help regulate sleep patterns and even improve the quality of sleep. Just be sure not to exercise too close to bedtime, as this can actually make it harder to fall asleep. Diet also plays a role in sleep quality. Consuming too much caffeine or sugar, especially later in the day, can make it difficult to fall asleep at night. Instead, focus on a balanced diet with plenty of fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. Lastly, if sleep deprivation continues despite these changes, it may be time to seek professional help. Sleep disorders are a real and serious issue, and there's no shame in reaching out to a healthcare provider for assistance. They can provide further guidance and, if necessary, refer you to a sleep specialist. In conclusion, while teen sleep deprivation is a significant issue, there are practical solutions to combat it. By maintaining a regular sleep schedule, reducing screen time before bed, exercising regularly, eating a balanced diet, and seeking professional help when necessary, we can help our teens get the rest they desperately need. With the right approach, we can help our teenagers get the rest they desperately need. Sleep deprivation among teenagers is a concern that we can't afford to ignore. We've taken a deep dive into the world of teen sleep deprivation, its alarming statistics, and the significant impact it has on young minds and bodies. The role of academic and social pressures in exacerbating this issue is undeniable, with the hustle and bustle of modern life often leaving sleep low on the priority list. But it doesn't have to be this way. By implementing practical strategies like setting regular sleep schedules, creating a conducive sleep environment, and managing stress, we can turn the tide on this prevalent issue. It's not just about getting more sleep, it's about getting better sleep. The severity of this issue calls for immediate action. Let's put sleep back on the agenda for our teenagers, for their future, and for the well-being of our society. Remember, a well-rested teenager is a healthier, happier, and more successful teenager. Let's make teen sleep deprivation a thing of the past.